everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tongue, the weekly quarantine show where I get to talk to my friends near and far to talk about movies, the holidays, Christmas. It is a Christmas season on Talking Tongue this month, and I have probably the most festive guest, although they're not wearing anything festive right now, but you can't see that. Just imagine them in an elf costume. We have Chelsea Fahey, everyone.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for
Hi,
having
Chelsea.
me.
Of course, it's been such a long time since I've had you on a podcast and B, talk to you at all. So,
There's literally a Santa hat beside me, and I didn't even think of it.
It's a very long Santa hat.
It is too long. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a dollar store purchase.
That's a dollar store purchase? I always found the Santa hats at the dollar store were way too short, but that is like, you get Wow.
Yeah, it's
People, like, I don't know how to describe this thing. It looks like a very, picture Ariana Grande's ponytail. It kind of goes as long as that, I would say.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chelsea. Again, thanks for being here. But, some people haven't heard your voice since the ranked days. And I would love to have you back on that, by the way. But you've been busy with other stuff, obviously, which we'll get into in a bit. But some people don't even know who you are because all they do is they're itching for another episode of Talking Tongue. And there's no other show in this world. So can you tell the people who you are and also tell us what's been, keeping you happy and busy during the pandemic?
Yeah, sure. So I am a comedian out of Ottawa, and Tung and I made our debut in improv together.
That's right.
Well, maybe not our debut, but had our first troupe together back in the day. Trevor, a name that I still have mixed feelings about. But
to be fair, Chelsea, I also, back then I was very, very shy. And when people said, Trevor's a great name for a group, I'm like, is it? I'm just going to nod my head and smile.
Yeah, we really jumped on that, or a couple people did. And that's what we were for a while. And I was just thinking yesterday, actually, around this time, a couple years ago, I would have been photoshopping or Trevor pictures into Christmas pictures. And we were on Facebook and doing lots of promo for Trevor. Anyways.
We had shows, people showed up.
People came to see us in person. It was fantastic. Anyways, that's where I got my comedy start. And since then, I've been doing more improv and stand-up and sketch and just eating up that stage time when that was a thing.
Yeah. So are you doing that still? I mean, you were going in real hot for, like, since I moved, I was like, oh my God, Chelsea's going to be an Ottawa star, or if not already. Now, stages are gone. They've evaporated. Mm-hmm. Are you able to do any of that now, or what's going on?
So I have to say, I've been on hiatus. Even before everything happened in 2020, I kind of stopped doing any performing in December of 2019.
Oh, why is that?
In anticipation for giving birth to my baby girl.
Oh, I had no idea. That wasn't a setup.
Yeah, who was born January 4th, 2020. So if we're going to jump into things that have made us happy in 2020, then my little girl has definitely done that. Who's not so little anymore and about to turn 1, which is crazy.
I saw the present, although I assume you're going to shower Izzy with a bunch of presents, like just a ton.
We're not. She gets a lot of things from other people. So I'm showering her with love and handmade goodies like cake and decorations and stuff. So it'll be a fun day. Christmas is going to be much of the same, where it's going to be, I think we're going to give her one little thing on the morning of. I mean, she doesn't know what's going on.
That's what I was like. My sister also gave birth to my niece in October, and I was like, I could get you something like cool, but you'll have no idea what this is. So I just asked my sister, what's a practical thing that you want? And she said, get us bibs. And I'm like, bibs it is,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's it. For the first year, if people are like, I really want to get her something, it's please don't get her a stuffed animal or any like get us spoons or
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 like
a
I assume more
snowsuit.
diapers is not diapers is probably always a good thing. I think maybe.
Diapers is, unless you're a weirdo hippie like me and you're using reusable diapers, in which
That's a
case they're
thing.
set. Oh yeah, yeah,
How many
yeah. We
times
do
can you
we do cloth
reuse?
diapers.
What? I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, tell me, for all the parents that listen to Talking Tongue, because there's a lot of them, how many times can you reuse reusable diapers before it's like,
Okay, okay. In your mind, do the babies poo and pee in the diaper more than once? Because that's not what I mean by reusable. I mean they dirty it and then
yeah,
we clean it and
yeah.
then they dirty it and then we clean it and that can go on for years and years and years and years. But hopefully she's potty trained by 18 months.
Well, I was picturing like they do the one and two, and then there's like
Yeah.
a compartment switch that allows for like a filter to come in, and then they could do it a couple times, and then you put it in the wash. But apparently not. So
No, you use it once and then you go from there. Yeah.
wow, wow. Okay, so do you just buy one of them, or does it come in like a pack? I'm just very curious about this because I've never heard about this, and now I feel like I should tell everyone that has babies this.
Oh, they're fantastic. They're a good amount of work because you do need to wash them. Whereas disposables, obviously, you can throw them out. They look like normal diapers, but they're cloth, and you buy enough for however long you want the baby to be in cloth without having to wash. So we have enough for about 5 days worth, which is
Wow.
about 30 diapers.
Wow, that's a lot. But I mean, I guess it's not at the
Yeah.
same time. So,
Well, so we found ourselves at the beginning of the pandemic, brand new parents, cut off from all resources, really scared about the health of an infant, not
mhm.
wanting to go out, and we didn't have to for diapers, for wipes,
Wow.
for food, for anything. We could literally just cocoon for a long time, which was really, really nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so you had everything.
you went from being extrovert, kind of on stage all the time, to now cocooned in your
Oh,
brand new home with a 1 year old baby, almost 1 year old baby. What a life shift! But it sounds like you're pretty happy still.
I mean, oh yeah, it's hard not to be happy with this little bundle that's constantly doing new things
Hmm.
and exciting you and whatnot. But I am now socially a crazy person. Anytime I get a chance to talk with someone, I am an oversharer. I just immediately assume we're best friends. I go on. I have I have in air quotes made so many friends this year at the park where I'm just like, oh my God, look, a person. It's
Wow, you're one of those
it's a
people, eh?
I walked up to a mommy group and asked if I could be a part of it. I'm a crazy person.
So how many mommy groups are you now part of? Because I know that's a thing. Like there's when my sister gave birth to her first child, it was like she joined like five mommy groups on Facebook, and then she met up with a couple pre-pandemic. Have you done more of that? Any of that?
There were definitely Facebook groups at the beginning that I've gotten out of all of them because it's just a bit much.
Mm.
Now, I'm not lying. Like, so it's a park near my house that I walked up 2 meters away from a group of people that had babies that were around Izzy's age. And I was like, oh, you all know I have a baby. Can I baby with you and your babies? And they all kind of looked at me weird and were like, sure. So I'm on this WhatsApp chat
Oh
with
my God.
13 other ladies that I've met 3 times in person, but that we just like talk about what are you doing for Christmas and how is
Ah,
weaning going and
that's
stuff.
nice.
So that's nice. But yeah, other than that, no other mom groups. All the other places I would have kind of met moms, like salsa babies or I don't know, kinder taught gym time, or they don't exist.
That's
So
true.
we're not
Wow.
running them.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a little lonely. Like we haven't had they had a chance to have like a babysitter for like even a parent come over, or the parents, sorry, even one of our parents come over and like watch her and take a day or whatever.
Whose baby did you steal, Chelsea?
Oh no, she's mine. I have the marks to prove it.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, like, Chelsea, try having a dog. I mean, that's way harder. Just kidding.
I've heard, yeah. I can't speak for leashes. I know leashes are hard to operate for some people.
Well, just wait. I did get you a Christmas gift, which is a baby leash. So
that's fantastic.
So when Izzy gets a little bit older, you can walk her around.
Well, this crazy baby's been walking since 9 months.
That's crazy. Wait, yes. That's early, right?
That is incredibly early. Yeah.
Is it usually like, I don't know, I like a year or two, or how does that?
A year is fairly typical. It can take longer. Like generally they'll start getting their legs around a year and like start toddling. Literally the word like toddler is, I don't know this. I've just been assuming. I think the term toddler comes from the fact that they toddle around on their like newly discovered legs.
As the only mom in this group, we are the experts. In fact, you're the expert. I don't know anything about babies. So
right.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, so she is like a full-blown sprinter now. So a leash wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay. Well, I'll express mail that to you because it should have arrived by now, honestly.
Well, I've not received it, but I'll keep an eye.
Good. Well, Chelsea, that sounds like you've been very, very busy, and I'm going to excite you even further. I'm going to take your loneliness and put it into the excitement jar. And I don't know where I'm going with this. More like I got some pop culture news for you because you've been itching for it. You've been craving all this stuff here.
You bet.
I can feel the excitement from here. It's like the time that I asked you to be on an aliens podcast to talk about aliens, and you're like, I love aliens.
The subject I am. For sure.
Chelsea, now these are the first time that I've been kind of reading these headlines myself, so this is news to me, more or less. But how do you feel about a Tom and Jerry movie?
Oh, real life action?
Yeah. Well, no.
Oh wait, actually?
Yeah, it's not. It has Chloe Grace Moretz in it, and like there's real people, and then there's the animated Tom and Jerry roaming around the world. How do you feel about that?
Wasn't someone who really watched that growing up. I remember it being very violent, but am I mistaking Tom and Jerry for the like fake version of it that was on The Simpsons?
Yes. So you're thinking about Itchy and Scratchy from The Simpsons, but now, no, Tom and Jerry is a little bit more friendly for the family.
No. Okay, I know Tom and Jerry, but there's violence in it, right?
Is there? Okay, I'll be honest too. I also didn't watch Tom and Jerry growing up, but I just assumed you would. So, I was just like, you know what? Chelsea's gonna love this story because Tom and Jerry. No.
Is it an age thing? You're like, Chelsea's older than me. This must be.
Are you? I thought you were the same age as me, so I guess not. We don't have to get into age over here. Let's move on. Chelsea, let's talk more about movies in the way that, let's see. Did you read about this Tom Cruise thing that happened the other day?
I did see that, yeah.
For people who don't know, Tom Cruise, there was a recording that emerged that Tom Cruise was berating crew members on the set of Mission Impossible 7 for allegedly breaking the COVID-19 safety protocols. And in the clip, he's kind of like furiously ranting at the like two crew members standing less than a meter apart. I'm not sure if they were masked or not. I'm not sure. But anyways, he went nuts on these people for breaking COVID guidelines. How do you feel about this whole thing, I guess?
Okay, quick sidebar.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, when I was in high school, was my like celebrity crush.
Uh-huh.
Which already doesn't really make any sense because I think he would have already been in his like early 40s.
Wait, how old is Tom Cruise?
He must be in his late 50s now.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna look
It's
that
almost
up while you
60,
talk.
no? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so he was like already quite old and was already anyways out of it. So in my books, he can do no wrong, but then very quickly he got into all that Scientology stuff.
Still
and
is.
I was like really torn. Okay, anyways, that was my sidebar.
Yeah.
I had a picture of him that said, "I'm coming for you, Chelsea." Anyways, so I have a history with him. But you know what? I am all for people being called out for being too lax. He, in theory, I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming he's the boss there. Like, I'm assuming he just produces and funds his own movies now, even if it's things like Mission Impossible, or not funds, but like, he's the boss.
I'm sure he's like executive producer of some sort of level,
He must, right? Like,
yeah.
And like, that's the kind of person in power that I think it's reasonable to lay down the law. I mean, I don't know what culture is on a set, so I don't know if it's reasonable then for your boss to be yelling expletives at you.
Yeah.
So there's definitely things at work there, even in what I am saying, and it probably not being appropriate. But I mean, it bugs me when people don't take COVID seriously. So it's kind of nice to see someone calling people out. Weird power dynamic, but still.
Yeah, it's a complicated thing, I think. Like, I also feel the same of like, I think people should be called out. Like, the way he was ranting was like, essentially like, a lot of people's jobs depend on this movie happening. Like, costume designers, set, like all those people, cameramen and stuff like that. So if they shut down the production for 2 weeks, then you're essentially not feeding, or those people don't get paid, right? So it totally makes sense. And we have a friend, Victoria Luloff, who posted, like, I'm paraphrasing her post here on social media, but it was essentially kind of like, you can commend Tom Cruise for doing it, but you can also feel kind of like weird that he's the one who said it, because he's kind of like I love his movies, but he's a questionable human being, like, it's hard.
Yeah. I like, when I think of Tom Cruise, I try to think of like Cocktail Tom Cruise. Did you ever see that movie?
Yes, I did.
Like, that's the pinnacle Tom Cruise for me, like pre all the weirdness. So if that Tom Cruise is then being a crusader for COVID restriction.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. But like, also this is in the States, right? Where there's so much mixed, I mean, in Ontario too, but in the States where there's so much mixed messaging, and I mean, individualism is like the height of what you should be there, right? So it's interesting. Yeah, it's good that somebody with a platform is saying things. I mean, I didn't actually read the article. I just saw the headline. And I didn't listen to the
I also didn't listen to it. I just saw like people write about it. So I was like, that's what I'm inferring from this. But
yeah.
But
like, was the article like, I'm sure it was TMZ, right? But was it straight up a report of it, or was it like, look at this?
I think it was like
celebrity
an article with an audio clip attached to it, or like a mini video or something like that in that vein.
Right, but did it have like a tone to it, like a?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm reading the IGN version of it, but when I first discovered it, it was like a different article that published it. This one says Tom Cruise admonishes Mission Impossible 7 crew over COVID-19 safety breach. So that is the headline here.
Yeah. I don't know. People should be taking it seriously.
Yeah. I agree. Chelsea, let's see what else has happened. Like, have you been keeping up with any of this Disney stuff? Are you watching Mandalorian? Are you watching stuff, having a baby? Are you able to?
I watched so much stuff when she was little.
Yeah.
which is weird to say because she's not 1 year old yet, but when she, like up until about 4 months, I was just constantly watching things because I was constantly on the couch feeding her.
Right.
And then like a switch flipped and all she wanted to do was watch the screen. So for the last 6 months, it's just been like watching things during naps and at night.
Right. What have you been watching? What kind of stuff?
Not a lot of Disney, although I did sign up for Disney to watch Hamilton, which I've watched a lot.
Have you seen it a lot? Okay. And
I have. Well, I had tickets to watch it in Ottawa. It was going to be my first post baby like big outing was to go see it at the NAC, and it's now been postponed until January 2022.
Oh, is that it? That's a thing? Okay.
Yeah. So when it came out on Disney Plus, I was like, well, I'm going to watch it because I'm not going to get to watch it in person for years.
Right.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Already was.
And now you're even bigger fan. And the original cast and all this stuff. It's great.
Fantastic. Yeah.
We got lucky. We watched Hamilton a few times now, but in Toronto of this year, it feels like a lifetime ago. Basically, Hamilton came out and we were able to see it in the first week of production. Like that was the first week. And then I think like the third week or maybe even like halfway through the second week, they're like, we got to shut it down. And I'm like, oh my God, we got so lucky. And I feel for a lot of people, like Laura's sister-in-law and brother was supposed to go see it basically the week that shutdown happened. And then they're like, you know what? Nope, not this year. So at least we have Lin-Manuel Miranda doing it on Disney Plus, you know?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I had been listening to the soundtrack for ages. But actually seeing them perform it gives so much more context to the song. And things I didn't realize were jokes. Yeah. Even it's so nice to see them act it out and be like, oh right, of course when they're saying this one like flippant line it's supposed to be a joke to this other person, whatever. So that was really nice. But other than watching Hamilton over and over again, trying to get all the Office I can because I understand it's leaving Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's on a Peacock.
And I'm a serial Office rewatcher. So getting that in. I've been on a Christmas movie kick for.
Okay, all right. Now. Well, this is good because we're about to transition soon, but not yet. Not yet.
Oh, damn.
Without saying the movie that we're watching this week, what other Christmas movies have you been watching?
Oh goodness, all of them. I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies. Oh, you know what I watched recently that I thought was really good was that Dash and Lily. It wasn't a movie, I guess.
What is it?
Miniseries, I guess.
Okay, that's a Christmas thing.
Yeah, it was very cute. It was a very teen angsty, nerdy, fun little Christmas thing. I watched the Christmas Night last night.
Wait, Christmas Night, is that different than A Night Before Christmas? The one with the night?
Well, you know.
Wait, it's the same?
So it's Christmas Night spelled KNIGHT.
Okay.
Or maybe it is the night before Christmas.
Is it about a guy who came from medieval times and went to like see Vanessa Hudgens or something like that?
Yes. Is that called The Night Before Christmas?
I could be getting this wrong. It's whatever. It has night as the title.
Yes, I might be confusing Christmas Night with The Christmas Prince.
Probably.
Anyways, which I've also watched.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'm going through all of the different streaming sites, Christmas lists that they put together, or Christmas like little thingies. Oh, and then the baking shows. The baking shows are nice to have in the background.
Aw. Yeah, you and Laura are exactly the same because she's been on a complete tear of Christmas movies, and then she'd come to me after and she's like, that one was awful, and then she'd put another one that's also awful. Like there's okay. Do you remember one that she called awful? There was a Country Christmas, I think was one of them. There was another, actually I don't remember the titles, but there was one that was set place in New York City, something, something, something. And she said, she read me the description and she's like, this one can't miss. Look at the description. And then as she's doing her puzzle at the end of it, she's like, that one was the worst one yet. And she said, that one doesn't even take place on Christmas or something like that.
Yeah. Holiday has to be the worst movie I think I've ever watched.
Oh no.
But definitely, what's that actress that plays Nancy Drew? I know that's not her only. No, you don't know who
I don't know who that person is.
Anyways, it's a terrible movie. It's so bad. But I also got fooled into listening. I've been listening to a lot of books on a book listening thing. I won't plug them.
Odd something? One of those ones?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Actually, I can plug it. Through the Ottawa Public Library.
Wait, did you have reservations of plugging the library?
I thought it was Audible, honestly, and then I didn't want to say it. And then I remembered, no, I don't have Audible anymore. I just get them all free through the library. The
library is amazing.
Everyone should fantastic.
Yeah. I'm a big supporter of the library. I used to never be, but now I'm just like, holy crap, you can get more than books at the library. It's insane.
You can get more than books. And for like kids, for my daughter, like we can go and get 5 new board books, and she gets literally bored of the board book. So you can get 5 new ones every week, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got tricked into listening to a book because I just searched Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And this book came up, and it was set at Christmas, but it was actually about very disturbing things.
Like, what are we talking here?
Like the main person was in a coma, and it was her describing her like trauma while she was in a coma and like present but not able to communicate to the people around her.
What? Wow.
It was bonkers. Actually, I need to talk to someone about this book. Not you, someone who's read the book.
I'm not going to read it.
It's messed up. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so you went from this messed up book, but also to Christmas movies. You're all over the place, Chelsea.
I'm all over the place.
Have you seen Princess Switch too?
But only at home.
yeah.
But not leaving home.
Of course. A Night Before Christmas. I'll say it before we get into it. A Christmas Night. I don't even know. Like, I didn't like that movie. Did you like this movie?
So I watched it with a couple other people on the what's it called? The Netflix party or whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think the entire time we were like, this doesn't make any sense. He is way too comfortable right off the bat in present day. Which was too much. And then he drove a car like day 2. And the like reasoning behind it was like, I've mounted many steeds. What?
A car is different than a horse, buddy. Like
very different. Yeah. So that kind of was a big thing. And then somebody mentioned, like, is this not just Kate and Leopold? Do you know that movie?
No.
Oh, okay. It's like an old Meg Ryan movie.
Okay. Is it like a fish out of water story kind of thing? Like just random guy not in his element and he's just being kind of a goof?
Yeah, well, not in his element, not in his place or time.
Same
as the knight.
Same as the knight who doesn't even know how to hold a sword. It was just...
that's what you took.
That's the thing. Well, I kind of in and out watched it last year with Laura, and I was just like, this guy who's like the knight is like play fighting like reindeer, or it's like cardboard on like the front of the lawn, and I was like, my nephews who pretend to sword fight are way more convincing than this guy holding this like plastic sword or whatever. I just couldn't get over it. I couldn't get over it. It's not a good Christmas. I also thought he wasn't a good actor, but hey, that's just me.
The standards for Christmas movies are the lowest.
Yes.
I think of any other movie. It's like all those Hallmark movies, right? What is fun though is watching them knowing that, and it is also fun because so many of them are shot in Ottawa now.
Is that true? Is it because it's like always like snowing?
Maybe so many. No. Okay. Thank you for saying that. No, they generally shoot in summertime.
Oh.
Yeah. So Almont, which is like a small town outside of Ottawa, is this like beautiful, picturesque little place. So they shoot a lot of Christmas things there, and they bring in fake snow, and they shut down the main street, and then they'll also use places around. If they're doing a small town, it'll be in Almont, but if they're shooting in Ottawa proper, then they're like pretending it's Chicago. Or like another random, like mid-sized, large American city. Yeah, but they very rarely shoot them in winter. They shoot them all. Well, because we have a friend in common who works on these movies.
Yeah.
And she does wardrobe. So she's constantly having to look for winter outfits in July.
Wow.
For these actors and actresses to wear.
Must be sweaty. Must be sweaty filming that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And pretending you're cold. That's, oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Yeah. The more I know. But hey, Chelsea, we've already been talking a lot about Christmas. So how about you introduce the Christmas movie of the week that you chose?
Oh, I chose the family favorite from 1996.
I'm looking at it.
Okay, 1996. I believe it launched the career of a little-known state governor.
Yes. This is the
Jingle
movie.
All the Way.
Every holiday season, there's one toy everyone has to have.
I want the Turbo Man action figure with the arms and legs that move, and the rock and roll jetpack, and the boomerang shooter.
Getting it is every child's dream.
Whoever doesn't can be a real loser.
Finding it.
You got the doll, right?
Is this father's nightmare.
I'll get that toy. I promise.
Whoa! Nothing like waiting till the last minute, Howitzer.
Especially on Christmas Eve.
Jingle All the Way 2, right? With Larry the Cable Guy? No, I didn't watch that.
I didn't know there was a 2.
I didn't know there was a 2 until like a week ago when someone messaged me and be like, do you know Larry the Cable Guy is in Jingle All the Way 2? And I'm like, what would be the plot of Jingle All the Way 2? If we have Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first, I don't know. Jingle All the Way. Why'd you choose this movie, Chelsea?
Because I hadn't seen it. It's not on my normal Christmas movie watch list.
Okay.
But it popped into my head the other day for a weird reason, and it was just happened to be the same day that you said pick a Christmas movie, and I thought, let's go for it and see if it holds up to the joy I remember it bringing me years and years ago.
Right. And did it?
It did. I have to say, it is not a terrible Christmas movie.
No.
It has some funny bits. I mean, 96, there are some problematic things that I would rather them have not done.
Yeah.
But which we do not need to get into. I prefer not even. But like as far as the plot line and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I actually saw this movie a week ago, but like somewhat because our team at work wanted to do like a Christmas watch party. So I was kind of working and watching this movie at the same time. But then when you said, let's watch this movie for this week's episode, I was like, yes, because I didn't actually get to absorb it this time. And now actually getting to rewatch it for real, I was like, yeah, this movie is just really fun. Like the story of what happens. It's also very, it's high energy. There's like, It just kind of keeps going and it doesn't really stop. And there's moments where I'd be saying, oh, like the pacing might be a little bit strange, but all in all, I think the Christmassy aspect of it and the whole plot of it is just really fun. Yeah,
absolutely. Like even the consumerism, Turbo Man, got to get this toy, trampling people at a toy store. Like,
oh, remember that?
Oh yeah, when you could actually be around other people. There was a lot of like non-class. Like, there's very much like dad proving himself on Christmas is not something that's not been done before, but there was a lot of non-classic things. I mean, Sinbad helps too.
Oh my God. Sinbad's so funny in this. Like he's just so over the top and just screaming and just having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. There's an actual bomb that goes off.
Yes, there is. But I love, it's been a while since I've seen something like that where it's just like, it's a fun bomb, you know, like it's one of those like cartoon bombs.
Yeah, the guy's face is just like
because at first
it's
you're
just
like
sooty.
Exactly. It's like at first you're like, oh my God, it's a bomb. Like, you know, in anything else right now, they would take it super seriously and everyone would die and all this other stuff. But that bomb literally explodes on that one person and he's just like, his hair is all funny. It reminded me of like Home Alone, like that type of logic.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A couple years later in a tall building like that, seeing a bomb, like in the graphics outside, it looks like the entire floor blows up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then Sinbad's just like, oh, I guess there was a bomb in there. Crazy sick people or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, he just throws away.
What is the world coming to?
Yeah. There's a lot of actors and actresses in this that are like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Jake Lloyd, who people don't know, Anakin from the Star Wars movie, or the first one, Phantom Menace anyways. Really weird to see him like that. Back when he was cute and still acting. Phil Hartman, you know, like his character can be problematic, but like he's very funny in the role.
Very, very funny.
There's a lot of like comedy stuff that he does, or like just like, I don't know, just inspired improv like type of stuff going on. I won't get into it, but it's just like, man, like the way he builds on that like character is just so ridiculous. I really enjoy just watching him be kind of like a creep, really.
Oh, huge creep. And it's that like we know he's a creep, but no one else in the movie can see it. So that really lets him play with it. You can definitely see his character building and like all that work he did on SNL, like coming through.
Yeah.
There for sure. I didn't know he was Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I'm sure Matt
Ontario.
Barrow did, but really? Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's interesting. That's man, I didn't know. Rita Wilson's in this as well.
She is not a fantastic character
no.
for her to play, but great.
She does defend herself in the car, at least.
She does.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah, that is 100% true.
We have Jim Belushi is in this movie. Chris Parnell shows up as like a random store clerk later in the movie.
Yeah, laughing at Arnold, eh? Yeah, that was pretty funny. It was nice. It was cool to see him so young. You're like, oh, but still you look the exact same you look now.
Yeah, exactly. Just like black hair instead. Is there any favorite moments in the movie you wanted to like shout out?
I am going to suspend the fact that this would not happen in real life and say I do really love the moment where Arnold Schwarzenegger is talking to his son, but he's wearing the Turbo Man outfit.
Oh, yeah.
And like, it's very clearly his voice. It's like, you can see him through the shield. Like, very clearly your dad. But like, if you suspend that and everything, and you get to see like a boy and his acting very well. Like,
yeah, let's talk about
in the face of his like Turbo Man super idol, I guess that would be, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool. And then he gives the little toy away to another kid, which is really nice.
That is a really nice moment. That's like a very Christmas thing to happen, right? I think the last shot could have used some work. Like, I don't know if we needed to see Arnold being like carried away by a bunch of audience member like fans. Like, it's like, this is weird. Like all these fans thought this was like a whole staged thing. You know, and then at the very end, he's still being carried away like a hero by all these like random pedestrians.
Tuong, what was your Turbo Man? Did you ever have a Christmas or like a time? It doesn't have to be Christmas, maybe just something that you wanted that was like that important for you, an action figure or something?
It was a video game. It was Pokemon Silver. And I remember that was like the best Christmas ever. I woke up and like I went down to the tree and I just sat there until my parents woke up, and then I opened it and I was just like, holy shit, it's Pokemon Silver. And then I played that game again and again, like I don't know, so many times. It was ridiculous. But no action figure. I don't think, like, I had a Buzz Lightyear that was kind of like that, but I wasn't as insane about it. Like, it was really cool. But how about you?
Mm-hmm. I also don't have an action figure, and I don't think I ever, because there were things growing up that were that popular, like Beanie Babies at one point. Like, like people would wait in line for Beanie Babies, and like, I want to say Furby. Like, there were things that had that kind of a response in people. But I think the thing I was the most excited for was a pair of moon boots. Do you know what these are?
Well, I'm picturing the ones from Arthur, but are they kind of like that, where it's like the spring at the bottom of the boots?
So sort of. They were these incredibly clunky, plastic ovals that had a little footprint on the inside that was suspended in the middle of it by these large elastics. So you would put you had two of them, and it was like your feet were trampolines.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Did not give you the impression that you were on the moon. Were incredibly clunky, broke all the time. They were the weirdest purchase probably my parents ever made, but I was so excited for them.
But you probably
like, I loved them. Yeah, absolutely. And I remember opening them and just being so happy. And I don't know where I would have heard about them, or must have been like a cartoon commercial thing. Oh yeah, they came up and I was like,
well, I'm thinking of like Easy Bake Ovens and how everybody got an Easy Bake Oven for like a few years because of like those commercials and things like that, right?
Yes, but moon boots I'm still talking about moon boots. But Easy Bake Ovens are much older than
Are they?
That. Yeah. Yeah.
So would you be in the case of if your parents didn't get you moon boots that year, would you have a Sinbad situation where it's like, my parents never got me that toy and I'll never forgive them?
No, I'm the oldest of 4 kids. So like there was always competing priorities. So I was like never worried. I was never that concerned in my estimation of like of anything really. Like if I was able to get a drive to soccer practice, I was like, this is a win. This is fantastic. This is great. I'm so getting so much attention.
Oh my God.
Well, there was 10 years between me and the next batch of kids. So by the time I was like, I don't know, starting to get into that age where maybe things were going to get like, I don't know, Spice Girls. I need all the Spice. Like there were little babies that had to take up attention and stuff. So,
that's interesting. Yeah, I always thought like when I was a kid, like I'd probably be like Jake Lloyd's character, where it was just like pining over a thing. Like it'd just be like, oh, if you don't get me that toy, I'm gonna be like so sad. Or like I remember I tried to make deals with my parents back in the day. Be like, I really want this, like I don't know, these Pokemon cards, and if you get it for me, it'll count for my Christmas gift and my birthday gift, and then the Christmas gift after that. And my parents are like, oh, shut up, here you go. Or like if they didn't get to me, I'd be like, I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I'm like, I know I did that, but I know a lot of kids like guilt their parents into like getting them these toys and stuff. And I'm like, that consumerism's gross.
Well, and how do the kids find out about these toys, right? It's through those commercials and through like other kids. And it's fun seeing, well, not maybe the word isn't fun. It's interesting seeing my younger nieces and nephews go through that and like want Oh, like when the Avengers came out, like want the different Avengers things and want the Bratz dolls or whatever the like in vogue thing is for that age group. It gets hard if you don't have a child. I mean, you've got nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
It's
now they're into video games, and now it's like,
they're older, right?
Get me a phone that allows me to play these video games. It's like, no, you know how much a phone is? Like, kids don't know. Kids don't.
Oh, they don't know at all. And it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice that they don't know.
I want to talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger's acting. Like you said, this is his launch into stardom.
His breakout role.
Not Terminator. Yeah. Like that was like Terma what? What? How did you?
No. Sorry. Oh, you misunderstood. This was his launch into politics.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Yeah. The state was just like, he's going to be our governor. That is a governor right there. How did you feel about his acting? Because like in this one, he's very, as much as he can be, emotive, you know, like he's trying to smile a lot, make a lot of faces. How did you feel about his performance, I guess, as this dad that needs to get this toy for the kid?
I think this role is perfect for him. And I think the amount of like goof he's able to put into it is perfect. It's a silly Christmas movie. Did you say he emoted? Is that what you said?
He tried.
Yeah, like he it's like he, just bring you back to SNL. Who was it who did him on SNL? Anyways, like he was really good with his face a lot. Like he almost was a parody of himself.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, which is great for a kid's Christmas movie.
You're right. And like his English and stuff was like, it was, I would say it was just good enough. It was just good enough to like really be like, okay, you're not going to be like, what is he saying or whatever. He just has that very thick accent. And I just loved every time he's like, Jamie. Like anytime he said his son's name, it was just so ridiculous because I don't know. The delivery was really funny to me. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I know we haven't really talked too much about it, but it is just really a fun Christmas movie. I'm looking at the reviews right now. It's terrible. It's 5.6 out of 10 out of IMDb, 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, 34% as like this, like the critics and stuff like that. Very baffling. I really think that like this is one of the better Christmas movies.
Huh. Is there a critique that jumps out?
No, the Rotten Tomatoes one, obviously. Rotten Tomatoes, take it with a grain of salt. But anyways, this says, Arnold Schwarzenegger tries his best, but Jingle All the Way suffers from an uneven tone, shifting wildly from a would-be satire on materialism to an antic slapstick yuck fest. And I'm like, why are you rating this movie like this, man? Like, it's just like, it's a like, Christmas movie.
Yeah. I think it would take away from my life to look at this movie in that kind of a lens, like that critical. I guess a movie critic does that for a job.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But like Christmas movies aren't kind of like meant to be seen like that.
I tend to also get kind of like uppity and like nose up because I'm like, I watch movies. I sometimes know the directors' names and all this stuff. And I would tend to like try to look for the hidden meaning in movies and like all this other stuff. Christmas movies are not that. Christmas movies, it's its own, like, you got to rank them like in a different tier, right? Like if you could watch all the way through and be like, that was a good time, that's a perfect rating for a Christmas movie.
100%. Yeah, like it was a good time. It didn't offend me too much. Good stuff.
Yeah, and like, so before we wrap this up, how would you feel, like, what are the hallmarks of a Christmas movie? Because we've been seeing a lot of Christmas movies on Netflix. I'm not going to get into the whole Die Hard argument, whatever. There's a lot of people. what needs to be in a Christmas movie to make it a Christmas movie?
Oh, okay. Well, it needs to be set at Christmas.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, why other ones that might not look like Christmas movie. Anyways, needs to be set at Christmas.
Okay.
It needs to have some sort of uplifting character arc.
Yep.
Even if, like, I'm now thinking of Bad Santa, but there needs to have some sort of uplifting character arc, and I think that's really it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like a couple Christmas songs thrown in. I like aesthetically seeing things that correspond with me in like Christmas and holidays.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just like that cozy winter feeling too.
Right.
It doesn't need it, but I like to have that in a Christmas movie. So if a Christmas movie is set in like Australia, it's hard for me to get into.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. What about you?
I think a Christmas movie also needs to take place Christmas Eve, that kind of stuff. I think if Santa is part of it, great win. Some sort of version of Santa, awesome. And this one's hard to describe, but I always found like Christmas movies need to have some sort of holiday magic type of feel to it. Like growing up, it's like Christmas is a special time of the year because magic happens. Some sort of event that changes things, and like you said, like the uplifting arc for somebody could be one part of it, or just something like, even though I don't like the movie, a Christmas Night would be a Christmas movie because something magical happens, something that you can only explain by being like, it's Christmas. Like, like this kid would not give his toy away unless it was Christmas. Like,
absolutely. Yeah, he wouldn't. Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't not kill himself in that Turbo Man suit unless it was Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking like, man, if only like Iron Man was made in this way, because like I could just picture like he has his suit, he's jetpacking around, he has all his like crazy gadgets, but then you see like the terrible like effects that are going on, and he's like just going around the city, and it's just like green
96
screen.
96 yeah.
Oh
yeah, you can't I really like that idea of magic that you were talking about, because that it explains away almost every ill of a badly plotted Christmas movie, because you can just say, oh, the continuity there, it's magic.
Yeah, that's a Christmas movie to me. It's just like that, you can only explain it in that way. Other movies like that don't have that, not a Christmas movie. There I said it.
Fair enough.
Chelsea, we're at the end of talking about Jingle All the Way. Any last thoughts on Jingle All the Way before we wrap this up?
Don't look too much into what's happened to the actors.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, not good.
Don't do that. Just watch the movie and be like, oh yeah, these people were cool.
Yeah, just watch Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad hilariously competes for this Turbo Man doll, which the final fight, the Act 3 fight with him in the suit and like Sinbad in the suit.
Oh, and Sinbad somehow
climbing the thing at the end, and I'm like, wow, no, but everybody else thinks this is just staged, but clearly this kid is in danger.
Yeah. Police officers not respected in this movie.
No.
Great movie for our times.
Would you watch Jingle All the Way too?
No.
Okay, good. If there was Arnold in Jingle All the Way too, would you watch Jingle All the Way too?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. All right. How would you rate this movie, Chelsea?
I would rate this movie 7 out of 10 jetpacks.
7 out of 10 jetpacks. Whoa. Mm-hmm. And obviously we're talking about Turbo Man jetpacks.
We are talking about Turbo Man jetpacks. Now, if we're talking about like out of like Christmas magic, 6 out of 10 Christmas magic.
How many boosters his sidekick is this out of?
Oh, that weirdo bear thing. 1 booster out of 10. That was weird.
Yeah, he's a weird
was that
looking.
Was that like a Power Rangers play?
At the very beginning, it was very Power Rangers.
Very Power Rangers, yeah.
Very, very Power Rangers, which was awesome. Love Power Rangers. But yeah, I don't know. The booster thing was like, I like how like everybody loves Turbo Man in this series, but nobody likes his sidekick. Oh, also a really good comedy bit is when they all like his sidekick falls to the ground and everybody is like kicking him while he's down. It's like, what?
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, we don't want him. Okay, anyways. Poor Booster.
And it seemed like the guy who wore the costume really like took that character to heart.
Yeah.
Like it ruined his day when people don't like him in this costume. He's a real actor.
That's right. He was method acting Booster the bear, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I don't know what that was. Yeah.
Chelsea, so happy to have you on this festive episode of Talking Tongue, talking about Jingle All the Way. Do you have any plugs for the people at home?
I don't have anything coming up, although I hope to do some virtual improv shows soon. No, all I want to say to everybody is stay safe, stay healthy, and do the best you can through this tough time.
That is a very heartwarming, Christmassy message to all the listeners in the pod cavern. And what Christmas movie is up on the docket, would you say next?
Ooh, I haven't watched the Griswold's Family Christmas Vacation yet.
Okay. All right.
I think I said that wrong. Christmas Vacation, I think, is the name of the movie.
The National Lampoon's
Christmas
Vacation?
Yeah. It's like the only one I can get my partner to watch with me. So
won't watch the other ones? How about Christmas Chronicle with Kurt Russell, Hot Santa? Have you seen that one?
Seen that? I haven't seen it.
The first one's amazing. Go watch that.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's Christmas amazing. Let's just say that. Like on the scale of Christmas movies, very good.
On the scale of Christmas magic, it's like a 10 out of 10.
I mean, can I give any Christmas movie 10 out of 10? I can give Elf a 10 out of 10, I should say. I like Elf a lot.
I do like Elf, yeah.
But Christmas Chronicle, the next Elf? No, probably not, but still very good.
I think the next Elf is, have you seen this advertised to you since you've been watching Christmas movies, like Elfette?
No, that's not a thing.
Elfette. Say it like very aesthetically looks this. Oh, you're talking about Elf? Sorry, I know you're trying to wrap this up. Did you see that it's on Netflix, the movies that made us Christmas edition on Elf?
No, but my sister was telling me about it. Is it good?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Okay, I will watch that. I've been told to watch this a few times, but this seals the deal. I'll watch it.
Perfect.
And Klaus. That's a good movie too. Klaus, it's an animated movie. Very good.
Listen, I've seen all the animated ones. Yeah. Arthur Christmas. Gotcha.
Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch.
Oh yeah, I've seen all the Grinches this year. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you didn't see Christmas Chronicle, one of the better Christmas movies of
I don't know why I haven't seen that one yet. But no, I watched the Benedict Cumberbatch one the other day, and now I'm gonna have it again. But for days I had God rest ye merry gentlemen. Right? As they like
Yes. Also a pretty good movie. People watch it. Anyways. I like how we talked about most movies but Jingle All the Way today.
I don't know which one you just endorsed there, but the Grinch.
The Grinch. Which one did you endorse? I'm confused.
I don't know. We've been talking about so many movies.
So many movies now. Watch all the Christmas movies. Every single one of them. Except Jingle All the Way too. Don't watch that. All right, everyone. Have a very Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas to you, Chelsea. It's so good to see your face.
Too, Tuong. Happy holidays. This was fantastic. Oh, I hope you get a 10 out of 10 magic day today.
Oh, thank you so much. You as well. Hope you have 10 out of 10. I hope you get 10 out of 10 uses of one diaper today. One reusable diaper. Just see what happens. Just see what happens.
You know what, though? I love her enough to give her multiple, but sure. We'll try.
You know what I'm trying to get at. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. We'll be back for another episode of Talking Tongue next week. Chelsea, do you have a famous catchphrase for everyone?
I absolutely do. If you haven't had a cookie yet today, you probably should.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.